Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Want to go over Starfield getting absolutely bombarded on Steam as reviews for that game have absolutely plummeted. We'll talk that, and Todd Howard has responded on Mr. Matty Plays' YouTube channel. He got an interview with Todd Howard, and he spoke on the criticism that has dropped. But right off the top, yeah, Starfield's recent reviews on Steam have dropped to mostly negative, 28% positive. The reviews are absolutely insane for the game. Right off the top review, really another push for curated paid mods no one asked for. Are you this desperate for modders to fix your game on a budget instead of doing it yourself with developers on an actual payroll? This disconnected from the actual foundations of your success your titles have had this far. There is a simple reason why many players and modders enjoy modding their games for decades. It's done as a hobby for players by players without corporate responsibilities and apart from donation opportunities without asking for or expecting monetary compensation. You are not aiding modding in the slightest. You are trying to turn modding into a business opportunity to be a parasite that profits from underpaid work you do not want to do yourself. This is another pathetic attempt to generate leech of revenue from work that is not your own by implementing yourself as its monopoly distributor. If this somehow finds acceptance, gamers lose. If this somehow finds acceptance, unlicensed mods will eventually get restricted or prohibited in the years to come. Those do not generate perpetual revenue after all. That is just a tremendous breakdown of the situation on why I think you should be concerned about paid mods, and that comes from a 6A on Steam. The dude's fantastic. That was a great, whoever it was, that person is fantastic with that review. But really, paid mods is a slippery slope because in a vacuum, when you assess things in a vacuum, this is where things get really dangerous because this is when some people are not able to use more than 3 brain cells, and sometimes I fall into that category, so don't come at me. But when you assess things in a vacuum and you don't think about the long-term ramifications that they can have, you are getting into some dicey territory because this is when a publisher will see, hey, they accepted this, let's push towards this. Let's push towards XYZ. This is exactly what happened with Ubisoft and a lot of other, let's say, cosmetic microtransactions that you just continually push and you see how far and far you get away with, and that's how you end up in situations where Sega is locking away New Game Plus behind their deluxe editions. That's where you have early access to these games just so widely accepted, these fake early access, because they've gotten away with it that now it's common practice. It's not even they're getting away with it, it's just accepted in a large scale, and you don't want things to enter the trajectory of it just becoming accepted in a large scale, because once something becomes accepted at a large scale, it's on to the next thing to F over the consumer. And right now, if paid mods become accepted in a large scale, you think Bethesda's gonna stop there? No, they're gonna move on to the next thing, and then they're gonna be like, do we really want modding to be widely available in our games if there's a business opportunity for us? Or can we restrict modding and try to monetize modding even further and further? Because Bethesda puts out a game every 8 years. They decide to reveal games a decade before they come out. That Elder Scrolls 6 reveal will never annoy me. Todd Howard, I know why you and Bethesda, the team, revealed Elder Scrolls 6 back in E3 of 2018, I believe it was. It's because you knew your slate of lineup was trash. You knew Starfield wasn't coming out for a long time. You knew you were focused on Elder Scrolls Blades and live service nonsense that you're like, hey, let's just pretend Elder Scrolls 6 is coming out so we can essentially lie to people and be like, yeah, that game will come out soon. It was just nonsense. Bethesda is absolutely washed. If you want to talk about washed game studios, and there's a lot of them, you can look at Rocksteady, you can look at BioWare is probably the most washed studio of them all. I'll throw BioWare in there, Naughty Dog, mention Rocksteady, but there are just so many washed game studios that are a shell of their former selves, and again, it really irritates me because I look back at the late 2000s, early 2010s, as my really formative years of getting super into video games. Like, I had played video games prior to that, but you're talking like my early teenage years of just playing so many games and really being invested into gaming and getting more invested from an online standpoint and just hearing rhetoric and discussion. And man, Back then, Bethesda was dropping Fallout 3. Back then, they were dropping Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Back then, there was an enormous level of hype for Fallout 4. And nowadays, you gotta wait 8 years for their games to come out. Elder Scrolls 6 will apparently be out in 2028. I find that hard to believe, but if it's out in 2028, that means a decade will have gone by since they put out a previous game, and you know they're gonna try to pull nonsense with Elder Scrolls 6. And after Starfield was fairly mid, and I enjoyed Starfield more than most people, I can't imagine Elder Scrolls 6 is gonna be this game that's just blow away. I could easily see it just being bloated nonsense, and a lot of the times, you know, Bethesda games, their bugginess is almost like a charm to the game. Starfield just lacked soul. It didn't have a soul to it, and that was more of an issue than anything. And now you just pull this nonsense. I know Shattered Space is coming out, and you know what? Shattered Space actually looks okay, and I know they've got a second DLC in the works, but the paid mods, not really big on that. Now, how Todd Howard responded, let me get to that. We hear that feedback too. First of all, I'll say that stuff gets priced based on things we've done before, both in Creation Club and then Fallout 76. Fallout 76 is a total live service game. Starfield is not. Starfield is a single player game, so that's something to consider as well. And we're always trying to be looking at what else is out there, really making sure we're giving value to everybody, and we're not, hey, you know, we definitely will adjust. The one thing I want to say on the Trackers Alliance, that was really an attempt to something we did in Creation Club where we'd say, hey, you got the special outfit and you got the special weapon, we wanted to put them together, and then thought, let's go the extra mile and wrap those around a quest. But now we definitely see the feedback, right? And that's not what we want at all in terms of, oh no, this looks like a faction that we're chopping up and then selling for 700 credits at a time. And so I do think we are going to take a look at that and how we deliver content like that, and whether we're charging pricing or breaking it up or what we should do there. So great feedback from the community as it comes to particularly the creators out there. Look, our view is this: a lot of them have gone from hobbyists to professionals, and it's part of our job to make sure that they can do that, and they do get paid and they see the monetary rewards if they make awesome content. Bear in mind, Bethesda sees monetary compensation as well. Let's not pretend that these developers are being compensated accordingly. It's not for me to decide what's, the best compensation for them. That is, again, something out of my pay grade, but let's be real here. Bethesda is also the beneficiary of charging for this, and ultimately it does benefit them. So keep that in mind. So hopefully they course correct, and it's a good thing that the PC gaming audience really does push back on nonsense like this, because I really feel like if this was just a console story, it would just go under the radar and over time just get accepted. But PC gaming audience, more often than not, does a pretty good job of just crapping on publishers and developers when it is necessary. Look at Helldivers 2. But yeah, that'll do it for me against Starfield getting absolutely bombarded on Steam. But good, this will hopefully make them course corrected. Sometimes this is what you need to do, but that'll do it for me. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. And as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.